On the paintball battleground, this is the General.
See if you can get up to that can right there in the middle.
He's got the strategy.
Okay guys, let's get ready on the whistle.
And when the whistle blows,
3, 2.
watch out. He's got the shot.
He's quick and he's got the gun to do it. He can shoot and he shoots accurately. He does not miss.
That guy, he's 1 in a million for sure.
Gotta keep that guy pinned down.
Mark Letzicuse is his name,
I'm hit.
but here, everyone just calls him
Oh, this is Pops. Had a good game. Hope you enjoyed it.
Pops.
I found out I was old when a few years ago the referees were picking up teams and they pointed at me and said, Pops, you're on this team. That made me, I'd never been called Pops before.
When you play with Pops, you better get some cover. Because if you reveal yourself, you're gonna get shot. Ah! I'm hit.
There's two kind of players in paintball, the quick and the dead. If you aren't quick, you're dead.
What started as a retirement activity with his son 10 years ago
Here we go.
has become a passion at 78.
I kind of found my niche that the Lord had given me a little talent to do this type of game, so I just keep on doing it. Time to play ball. Now I'm a superhero. I definitely want to be here in the 80s, age 80s. I am really looking forward to it because at the moment I can't see any reason that's going to change. Okay guys, get ready.
Of course, even superheroes have to take breaks.
Am I out?
I got some paint up here.
You do?
I see it, yeah.
I'm out then. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink. I might eat my favorite sandwich also. Peanut butter and sweet pickle.
Peanut butter, pickle, and paintball.
That's the secret to staying young.
Willie Mays Park is named after a baseball legend, but it tells a basketball player's story.
I've been going up here since I was about 9 years old. Just born and raised right here at this park. We changed the goals around a little bit, but same walk, same court, different steps.
That's Nevin Glover. Wherever he goes, his dad, John, isn't far behind him.
When he was younger, we used to come out here and hit free throws. When he was at Carver, we used to shoot 200 free throws a night.
Nowadays, it's mostly dunks. Last season for Oak Ridge, Nevin was one of the best dunkers in the country.
It's a God-given ability. I don't see anybody that do the things that I do in game because it's not normal.
He even made the Sports Center top 10.
It's showing me that I'm doing something right, so I just keep doing what I'm doing.
His dream is the NBA.
Bingo.
His dad has made it his mission to help make that happen.
As a father, I'm extremely proud of him for taking the courage to chase his dream.
Me and my dad have a crazy relationship. It's probably one of the best relationships that any child could have with their parent. Game cheat me now.
Well, that's 0 for 9.
The goal cheat me.
It's a father-son relationship that almost never happened. Nevin grew up living with his mom. Conditions weren't always easy.
Growing up as a kid, like my mom, sometimes you didn't have enough money for bills and stuff like that. So being homeless, not having a place to sleep, sleeping from like in the car, in the U-Haul, stuff like that.
Nevin didn't know his dad. John didn't even know he had a son.
I met my dad when I was 8 going on 9. He didn't know. It's not like he wasn't in my life. He just didn't know that I was born because my mom had kept it a secret. So he found out who I was, and ever since then he's just been taking care of me, being a father, stepping up.
John stepped up after getting a call from a social worker. Nevin's mom had been shot.
It was actually her husband. Her husband that did it. I guess he was mad. They had an argument, whatever. He pulled a gun on her and he shot her twice. She tried to kill her, but she pushed the gun.
She survived, but Nevin was going to be placed in foster care unless he had another parent that could claim him.
So we went down. The court brought him out. He hated me when he first met me because he didn't know me. I got to go stay with this guy.
I mean, yeah, of course it made me mad. My mom just got shot 2 times. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Is she okay? Is she gonna live? Stuff like that. We didn't really know. But yeah, it pissed me off. But then I ran into that guy, my dad.
Ready? Go ahead.
Since that day, John has dedicated everything he has to giving Nevin a better life.
Aha!
They train at their house, building a superhero.
I'm the Hulk.
Together.
We've become extremely close over the years. I change jobs, I move, whatever he needs done with this, I help him do it because when I was a kid, I never chased any of my dreams, and I don't want to see any of my kids do that.
Now Nevin is lucky to have both of his parents in his life. He's a high school graduate, soon to be college basketball player, and hopefully a pro.
God's blessed me with this talent, and I know it's only going to get better. Just doing the little things first to chase my bigger dream, which is the NBA.
It's Willie Mays Park for now. Someday, they might name it after him. You're about to enter the Wild Samoan Pro Wrestling Training Center.
Always wipe your feet off for respect.
This place means a lot to Tony Smith.
This is where we perform.
I'm just overwhelmed to the fact that I'm actually living my dream.
He dreamt a long time and drove a long way to get here.
If you were to describe your story in a couple sentences.
Family, pain, determination, and triumph.
Tony grew up the second youngest of 5 children outside Miami. He moved to Orlando before high school and started wrestling at Evans High. One day at a match, life took a turn.
I just remember blinking my eyes, and I seen this light flashing in it,
Tony had passed out mid-match. He was rushed to the hospital.
I found out that, I had a form of cancer in my neck.
Tony had the cancer surgically removed.
But after that surgery, I was like, I'm not taking life for granted anymore.
So he didn't. After college, Tony started training at another wrestling school in Orlando. He worked multiple jobs and barely slept to pay for it.
I caught 5 buses just to go to both jobs.
Eventually, he bought a car and started traveling for shows. Years later, a family crisis would make his car much more than a vehicle.
I had some family issues back at home that really set me back in a very dark place, And I was like, it's just time for me to kind of, move on.
Move on and move out.
I left. And I found myself being homeless, living in my car for 8 months.
Tony is not yet ready to share the very personal reason he left home, but he found another home here.
Tony is more than a Tony to me. It's like my own son.
Afa Anawahi is a former professional wrestler and the school's founder. He gave Tony a chance.
I listened to his story. I listened to his whole life in about 5 minutes. And I decided then to give him a scholarship.
I'm the cruiserweight champion of the world!
The scholarship helped Tony get back on his feet. He was able to find a home, get out of debt, and compete in Afa's WXW wrestling shows. One day he hopes to make the WWE, but right now, family is more than enough.
Wrestling brought my family and us back together again.
A dream, a car, and one long journey. A journey that's not over yet.
I just thank God for giving me an opportunity to be able to follow my dream.
What's in a name? Some would say it's your identity. It's who you are. For Gators defensive back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson,
About time next week. About time next week.
his name is his story.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson says, welcome to the swamp.
Chauncey grew up in Cocoa, Florida.
He's been doing this for years. He give back to the community, come back and talk to him.
He used to play here in the Rockledge Youth Football League. Today, his younger brother Byron is playing.
First off, we are not at a Gators game. We are at Rockledge Youth.
I don't know they signed.
Getting ready to see
we
Byron,
always
AKA
get
the Boogie play.
His parents, Dell and Brian, can't believe how far Chauncey has come.
I don't believe it. Because he used to tell me when he was 5 that he gonna play in the NFL. I used to tell him he was crazy.
Going through high school, people would say to me all the time, Mama, that kid going places. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Quick throw out to C.J. Gardner, who made one man miss.
In high school, Chauncey starred for the Cocoa Tigers. His parents' house is one giant trophy case.
All of this stuff was sitting in his room on the room floor. Every day we were getting tons and tons of letters.
As blessed as this family is, for Chauncey, there was always something missing.
He mentioned it when he was in middle school. He called, I think he was in practice. He called home one day and he was like, Mom, I want to change my last name.
Chauncey was born Chauncey Gardner Jr. Brian is technically his stepfather.
It's my stepdad, but it's like my dad to me, but he's been there since I was 3, you know. Everybody who's been following me since high school, my real dad really hasn't been there.
Sometimes I forget I'm not his real dad. Until somebody bring it up, but I love my kids. That's what it is.
Since middle school, Chauncey has been determined to change his name.
He would bring paperwork home, his homework, and the kid would write Johnson on the paperwork.
His biological dad didn't support the decision, but when Chauncey turned 18, he was able to make the change without consent.
December of 2017, last year, New Year's Eve, actually, I got a text message. They say, Mom, where's Dad? And I say, he's right here. He said, check Twitter in about 5 minutes.
Chauncey sent out this tweet.
So I'm reading it, and next thing you know, I'm crying.
I was honored. Like I'm in tears now, I was in tears.
23.
But it wasn't until week 1 this season versus Charleston Southern that it really all sunk in.
To me, I hope Brian really, really sees that we really appreciate him.
This guy's been there, taught me everything I know, because without him, I probably wouldn't be playing football right now.
I just can't wrap myself around that my son is a star at Florida University.
Number 23, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is too fast, not going to escape him.
Yeah! Everybody!
I'm just thankful for him. As a name, you know, it's on my jersey, and it's going to be there forever.
We all have signatures. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has an autograph.
You pray for this moment, and all of a sudden it go by slower and slower and slower and slower. Like, okay.
Today he's writing his name.
Gotcha.
So the orange or green?
But in a few weeks, he'll hear it called at the NFL draft.
Man, I'm gonna be the same guy. But then I'm gonna have to learn all over again, because then that's a whole new animal out there.
Because it's like a galaxy color. That's what the background is.
To a team and whomever receives this autograph, the name Chauncey Gardner-Johnson will mean a lot.
Jay Patterson tipped ball at the line, and it's intercepted. Gardner-Johnson to the house.
But for the former Cocoa High and Florida Gators defensive back,
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson says, welcome to the swamp.
His name is bigger than football.
Yeah! Hey, let's go! Ain't nobody coming off that edge that fast.
His name is about fathers and sons.
Let's go! Let's go!
Meet Brian Johnson. He's technically Chauncey's stepfather, but he's been in his life since he was 3. Last season, Chauncey changed his name from Chauncey Gardner Jr. to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to reflect just that.
I was honored. Like I'm in tears now, I was in tears.
That was Brian before the season. The name change has taken on a whole new meaning now.
Hi. look at that. You only wake up for me.
Brian and Chauncey's mom, Dell, are grandparents.
I'm gonna be your best friend, bro. We're gonna eat all the snacks.
This March, Chauncey and his girlfriend, Sydney, had their first son, Caden King Johnson.
You never thought you could love anybody else as much as you love your kids, but you got your little grandson, and he's a blessing. You know, the trophy the same size.
Look, you see it?
A father-son relationship that yielded all this. Now, Chauncey hopes to carry on the tradition.
So right now, my son probably the best. He's probably the best 1-week-old baby. He did the first push-up Sunday. He was born Friday, and he did a push-up Sunday.
He inherited his grandpa's name and his father's talent, but Chauncey passing along something else too, a middle name.
The King. Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
And my son. But before my son was my favorite animal, and the king of jungle is a lion. I got it tagged on him, so if you can see it in the camera.
A middle name inspired by his favorite childhood movie, Lion King, and a nickname Brian gave him growing up.
I just used to call him that because he used to be the king of the football field. He used to just run around everybody, and it just stuck with him.
Patterson looking downfield. He wants the deep one for Collins. Intercepted. Picked off all the way down at about the 5-yard line. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a convoy.
Now Chauncey is ready to claim his NFL throne, but he wants to be known as more than just a player.
I'm trying to be the best teammate I can be, the best off-the-field player I can be. I'm trying to be known in my community as a guy that, you know, I can shine.
And most of all, a dad.
I'm playing football to be the best football player I can be. Since my son here now, I'm being the best dad I can be to my son, not the best football player dad to my son, because that's not what he gonna see me as.
Do you think he's gonna be a good dad?
Yeah, he's already a good dad. 2 days, what it was, 2 days? Talking about he the greatest dad in the world. He was born on Friday. On Sunday, he talking about he the greatest dad ever. So, yeah, he loved being a dad. He loved it.
In Cocoa, Pat Welter, Spectrum Sports 360.